Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Hair Truth. For those of you who are here for the first time, I welcome you all the same, the regular ones. Glad to have you all here. It's been a while since I've been in touch with you all. I have been experiencing some technical difficulties together with being busy at work and whatnot and feeling too tired and caught up with the everyday life activities. However, I am still here to bring you all that good information. So today in this video, what we'll be looking at is basically an update. Now the update was supposed to be like a 2-year update. However, we have gone past 2 years and just over a month, because since I did that whole big chop thing, it was on the 2nd of June 2018. So I just basically want to show you all some of the changes, if any. I don't know if you all can see any for yourself. I'll show you all the picture of what it was like before 2 years ago, and I will discuss some of the challenges and how is it I was able to take myself past all of this time. So one of the first things I want to look at is basically what it is I have been doing throughout the time up until this point. So I developed my regular routine, a hair care regimen. So what I would do is wash on a weekly basis, either over the weekend. Sometimes it gets thrown off and I end up washing like midweek, and I follow up weekly after that, and it changes from time to time. You don't have to be strict on it, don't punish yourself. So I would wash every week. After washing, I would deep condition, and I made some a herbal infused oil which I would do my scalp massages with. And let you all know, seeing that I talk about the herbal infused oil, I'll be making another oil which is a more advanced one for distribution to persons who are on my Facebook page, and you all who are here will get an opportunity also to qualify for a sample size bottle of this herbal infused oil. It is geared towards persons who have thinning edges or bald spots, but don't worry, I'll give you all more information as time comes along, so you will know exactly what to do and when to look out for it. So I just want to let you all know that. So I do my scalp massages after I deep condition. What I used to do before during the 2-year period was that I stopped deep conditioning using heat, because I thought that my hair was damaged, especially at the center. Now at the middle of my head is where the significant set of hair loss was. So let me show you all a picture now of what that looked like. For those of you all who don't know, those of you who were here already, let me just remind you all of the condition which my hair was in. So this is basically what it looked like right before I cut it off. So it's on the same day that I did the big chop. So this is what it looked like, and from that time I recognized, even before and after that, when my hair started to grow back to some extent, I thought that my hair was damaged from heat. And I thought that heat also meant heat from deep conditioning, not heat that not only heat directly applied to your hair. So what I did was stop using the heat for that 2-year period. And I saying to myself, all right, if I stop using the heat, seeing that I cut off the hair now, probably it will grow back with a tighter curl pattern, because at the center the pattern is not as tight as around the edges or the front or the back, as the case might be. So at the center and a little bit to the top here, it had a looser curl pattern, so I thought it was damaged here. So I stopped using the heat during that 2-year period. But as time passed, I recognized the hair, it's still growing back the same way, so it could not have been the heat. During that period, with the research that I was doing, I recognized that you could have more than one type of hair or curl pattern on one person's head. So this was my situation. And so you know what, I accepted it. Now previously, before this whole natural hair journey thing, I used to relax my hair, and I used to steam with heat using a hooded dryer every 2 weeks, and it grew nicely. So I know that the hair could grow, and your hair doesn't really stop growing, it's to retain the length. So I say, you know what, let me start back to use the heat and see exactly what happens. And after about 3 weeks, I could have seen a significant difference in terms of the growth of the hair and the rate at which it was growing. So this confirmed for me that deep conditioning with heat is an absolute yes, I believe so. And I would have done previous videos saying that, you know what, high porosity hair don't necessarily need heat for the cuticles to be lifted so that the deep conditioner could be absorbed into the hair. But I would still say that because it's based on research. However, from my personal experience, I recognize that even though I have high porosity hair, the heat using the heat during the deep conditioning process is absolutely a yes for me. So I am definitely going to continue with that. So that was one of the changes that I made during that period. What I also recognized during for like 6 weeks, between May and June, I did a little rice water challenge. I have to upload that video to show you all exactly what happened with that challenge. So during that period, I did a little rice water challenge. But at some point, like coming down to the end of the 6 weeks, so like in the fifth, between the fourth and the sixth week, I recognized that my hair was breaking plenty. So I thought to myself, maybe it's time to trim the ends. I trimmed the ends, but I waited until after the rice water to trim it so that I wouldn't be cutting off the length that I got, if any, during that rice water challenge. So what I did, I waited until after, cut the ends just about a little under an inch in different areas, and I said, let me see if this would help, and I'll pay attention to the hair. However, on a weekly basis, I recognized that it was the same thing and it was breaking easy. So for me, during that time, I recognized that I had a little protein overload using the rice water. So what I did after that, after the challenge, I didn't use any product that contained any protein in it. And I deep condition my hair, making a deep conditioner geared towards more moisture. So moisture retention in order to help with the brittle hair, to stop it from breaking. So after I cut the ends, it is now about roughly 4 weeks, about 4 weeks since the challenge was over, and I deep conditioning to obtain more moisture to see if I could ease up with the breakage. And yes, I have seen a significant difference. But with the whole protein overload and whatnot, I'll discuss that in the rice water video. So that's another thing that I did. I reinvested in using the heat, paid attention to the hair with the breakage, which was, I would more or less say, self-inflicted. So another point I want to look at. Now I want to show you all something. I left my hair like this because I want to point out different areas to you all. So if it is that you look at the scalp itself, you would see some short hair in and between. And if you look along the strand, right, you would also see some hair sticking out on different strands, right? And this is all around. At the sides, going to the back here, right? I have some short hair. And within, I like to watch at this plait in particular, because in this plait right up to here where my fingers are, you would see it's kind of fat from the root, and then coming down to the end it starts to get thin. So some people might say you should cut your hair so that everything would be at one length and your hair will grow more full, as the case might be. No, as stated before, I make my own deep conditioners to use, experimenting with little DIYs, as the case might be. So the reason why, some reasons that I don't want to cut it is because how would I be able to experiment or use the stuff that I make if I cut the hair and it's too short? I wouldn't be able to properly critique what it is I am making. So that's one reason I don't want to do the big chop. The other reason is that even though I do a big chop, based on how your hair grows, remember your hair grows in a cycle and all of your hair doesn't grow at the same time. So even if I cut off all of this hair, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to grow evenly, because I don't know which growth phase each strand of hair is in. So then I might as well end up in the same place, and then as a result of breakage, it may even end up long and short in different areas. So some people might say, seeing that you figure out what was the problem 2 years ago, all you had to do as a result of the birth control, all you had to do was stop taking the tablets. It might sound easy like that, but let me tell you, remember, I didn't know when the hair was falling out, one. And Yes, just quitting taking the tablets may have resolved the issue, it not in your system again. But here what the problem was. The problem was actually getting to jumpstart the hair that was dormant, or the follicles to produce more hair that was dormant over that period of time. Now I took it for almost 10 years. Only about 2 years ago I figured out what it was. So let's say it probably started to fall out within the first year of taking the tablets, unknowing to me. How am I to now catch up or know exactly where those strands are or what is happening? So it wasn't as simple as just stop taking the tablets. So I began to make my own little oil infusions and mixtures, deep conditioners geared towards jump starting that regrowth process. And I must say, I have seen significant results. So here's a little before and after picture. The picture that I'm showing is like the after picture is presently, that's as of today. I'll show you all that together with what it was before when I did the chop, so that you could see for yourself that there was some progress. In order to determine whether or not, again, some people might ask, okay, so the shorter hairs that you have in the middle here and anywhere running along the scalp, let me see if I could find another little piece to show you all. So like this, right, I have some short ones in between the parts, right? So like that area and anywhere else along the scalp. I have some next, right, look, some here. So some persons might ask, how is it that you know for sure that your hair is not breaking off and that it is actually growing? I could answer that question basically by looking at this. So remember what the picture was. I had about 4 or 5 big plaits scattered all over my head, on the entire head. So how am I able to know that? Simply because of this. Now I am able to get more plaits on the scalp itself, as you all can see, as compared to what you're seeing on the screen there now. I'm able to get more plaits. That's one. Two, I'm able to get bigger and smaller plaits without seeing that really big gap on the scalp. So this definitely says that there is hair growing at the roots, at the base. And the reason why, of course, some of the, if you look inside of the plaits, like the one that I show you all to the back, and one of these here, and just where the hair starts to twist, you have some shorter hair coming out. So that is letting me know that the hair is actually growing. So what I will do, pay attention to the hair as it continues to grow and it comes out. I would snip the ends. I would continue to treat and cut my ends, so that eventually where the plaits are now looking thin, from the root, after the thickness, from the root where it is now looking thin, eventually the thickness is going to travel down each plait, and I'll just be cutting as time goes along and it is going to catch up. No, at no point in time you would have all the hair even on your head, because you go through different things, different traumas from the environment, treatment, tools, a bad hair care regimen, different things. So we need to pay more attention to how we treat the hair and what it is we do. One thing that I said that I would have come up with, because of the excessive breakage that I was seeing, is to wash less, and so that my hand wouldn't be in the hair much. But after when I saw the breakage kind of easing up, I say, you know what, it was really the protein overload that I suffered from the rice water treatment. So I decided to continue with my weekly wash. I didn't bother to go to the 2 weeks, because I really want to try and nourish the scalp. And this size twist and this type of hairstyle that you're seeing here now is basically how I would comb my hair every week. Not unless if I have somewhere to go or something to do, I probably try a little twist out. The other day I try a little wash and go. Look your girl there. All I think. I try a little wash and go, and that came out well. But after that, when I came home, I wash out the hair immediately and put it back in these twists. So this is basically my protective hairstyle on a weekly basis. During the week, how do I treat with it? At least midweek. I don't like to play up on my scalp too much because it's very tender. So I'll start to get little sore spots or bumps on the scalp. So midweek, at least once for the week, I'll put some oil in the scalp, in the twist here, give it a little massage, re-wet the entire head, and do over the twists one by one to put back in some moisture. On 2 occasions, I tried something new by washing the hair with inside of these twists. It's kind of work out good in the sense that I didn't have to lose all the entire hair to go back in with those single strand knots and everything tangling up, and then you have to cut out the knots. It work out in that way. But because the hair is sort of uneven along some of the strands of the twist, you had some of the hair wrapping around the entire twist itself. So then I had to take my time, because you know the hair wet, it's more fragile, and get the twist out, being careful not to burst off the hair. Of course, some of them get away, and then remoisturize and twist it back. So that was basically what I did. If you want to know like what I use to moisturize after I do the scalp massage, sometimes I would use some Jamaica black castor oil to put back in that moisture. I haven't yet put my hands on a good leave-in conditioner. I'm still fighting up with that. I didn't try to make anything of the sort thus far, but I'll probably find something. So while the hair is wet, I will probably just take a little bit of deep conditioner, if not deep, sorry, leave-in conditioner if I have any, apply it to the entire head and go through the twist one by one using some Jamaican black castor oil, or I have a new found love, some shea butter, the plain shea butter, run it along the plait, and twist it, retwist it, and that would be the end of that. And it would stay moisturized for basically like 2 to 3 days, and I'm satisfied with that. How do I know that my hair needs to be re-moisturized again after the 2 to 3 days? Is because you see the length of these twists that you're seeing here now, they will become short. When all of the moisture comes out, they shrink up like this because they're real dry. So it would shrink up. After twisting it, when it's fresh with all the moisture, it stays kind of elongated, and then it will get short. So I know, you know what, it's time to re-moisturize my hair, and that's basically what I would do. Now what I can say is that definitely the hair is growing because I am seeing some length. I am able to see length. Length, however, is not my focus at this time. Is not my main focus. I know it will come as long as the hair is growing and I'm treating it right, and I'm able to retain that length. I know it is going to come. But my main focus is to get that regrowth, promote that growth, and prevent that hair loss. And I'm paying special attention, not strictly, don't hold me to this, to the things that I eat, my intake of water, my vitamins, whatever supplements, I do that. But in terms of the hair, I really try to go down that natural road and not put any harmful chemicals in my hair. So let me just do a little length check with you also. The next time I come back in to do a little update, we could do a little comparison. So this is a part from the side. It's reaching just at the start of my jawline right there. This is one from the directly from the back, right? We have it up to here, and one from the front right at the end. This one at the center here is right on top of the tip of the nose. So I am happy to report to you all that I am definitely seeing some progress. Hair growth takes a lot of time, patience, and consistency. But don't make it stress you out, because remember, stress could also lead to hair loss. So we don't want that. Just take it one day at a time. Do exactly what you're supposed to do. Develop your hair care regimen, and things are going to be okay. If you think that the problem is something else, probably something medical, medication-wise, and you can't put your hands on it, always seek professional help before you probably go to others or take advice from the internet or anywhere else, or somebody who might have been experiencing a similar problem. We are all unique in our own way, so you want to pay attention to that. So generally, this is it. This is it here. A lot of short hair in between, but I am not worried about that, because I am able to see where the parts themselves are getting a lot more smaller, closer. So which means we having some progress. Hair is growing out of the scalp. So the real deal was to jumpstart that growth. So remember the picture I showed you before where the center had no hair and it fell out. This is it at the center here, right? I have a lot of short ones still. They kind of in the twist, but I have a lot of short ones still in between. I ain't worried about that at all because I am seeing some progress. Look at this here. And from time to time when the hair is freshly twisted, it look really neat. From the time I put my hand in the scalp and start to do those little massages with the oil, obviously because it is short, it's going to pop right back out and then my hair look all full. But nice small thing. Let me just show you all the edges. You see these 2 points here? I didn't get to document any evidence of this, but these 2 points of my head on the hairline had like it was going back inside like this, like a kind of meal cut. So right there was really bald. And now you could actually see here on it. I actually thought that, that's how my hairline was. But then when I look, I pull it back and I realize, well, like hair growing back. I realized, after the fact it was an issue. So I didn't get to document that one for you all. But the hairline is coming along nicely. Yeah, some hair growing out there. So I don't really have anything to complain about. The challenges are sort of overcoming that and trying to deal with it. Oh, one more thing. In terms of protective styling, another thing that I was thinking about is to do a little additional protective style apart from this. So probably put in added here, some braids or something like that. But I was kind of iffy about it because I don't want to put in the extensions and then pull on the hair that is actually coming out. I would be doing it for myself, but I have this natural tendency to just plait hair tight. So I don't want to hold on to it and then the hair comes popping right out that are trying to regrow at the moment. So I really don't want to go down that road. So I guess I'll be rocking it like this until maybe whenever I decide to try and hold the hair a little looser to do some kind of thing when I really need a rest. But sometimes I really feel like I need a rest. What we gonna do? We gotta do what we gotta do. So that's basically it for the update today. If it is you have any questions, any comments, feel free to post them down below. And I'm going to be back here with you guys. Same place, another time to speak the truth. See you all.